Hi, I'm Kyle Persaud from the Persaud Law Office. And in this video is part of a four-part series on how to file for guardianships in Oklahoma. And part one is going to be how to file for a guardianship of a minor child in Oklahoma. Part two is going to be how to file for emergency guardianship of a minor child in Oklahoma. Part three is going to be how to file annual reports on a guardianship in Oklahoma. Part four is going to be how to terminate a guardianship of a minor child in Oklahoma. And this video is part one, how to file for guardianship of a minor child in Oklahoma. Now, to file for guardianship in Oklahoma, you will need Oklahoma guardianship forms. And in the description box below, I've posted a link to a page on my website where there are the forms you will need to file a basic guardianship of a minor child in Oklahoma. And you may be asking what a guardian is. A guardian is a person whom a court appoints to care for another person. And a court may appoint a guardian for a minor child whose parents are unfit or for an incapacitated adult. And in this video, I'm only going to discuss how to file for a guardianship of a minor child. I'm not going to discuss how to file for an adult guardianship. For further information about what a guardian is and how to become one, you can click on the links in the description box below. Now, a few words of caution about the forms on this site. These forms are not a substitute for hiring an attorney. As you probably know the old saying, he who acts as his own lawyer has a fool for a client. You will find these guardianship forms complicated and you'll likely have difficulty filling them out. I have provided these forms because many people have asked where they can find guardianship forms online. But I know many people who have filed cases in court using online forms and they've made mistakes. And chances are you will make a mistake if you will fill out these forms yourself. If you can afford an attorney, it's best to have one. And you can contact our office for a free consultation. I've posted a link to our contact form in the description box below. And my second caution is these forms are for Oklahoma only. If your guardianship is in another state, don't use these forms. Also, these forms will not be enough if you file for guardianship and then the parents contest the guardianship. Also, every case is different and these forms will not work for all cases. Now, you will need to fill out the following forms. You'll need to, and I've placed these forms next to me so you can show what they look like. There's the petition you see right there. There's the Oklahoma Sex Offenders Act registration affidavit. See that right there. There's the UCCJ affidavit. You see that. And there's the plan for care and treatment of the wards. You see that. And after you have filled out these papers, take them to a notary, sign these papers in the presence of the notary and have the papers notarized. And after you've had these documents notarized, take the documents to the courthouse in the county where the child resides. And along with these documents, take the order setting hearing. You see that next to me right there. And fill out this order before you go to court. But there's a space for the hearing date and there's a space for the judge's signature. Leave those spaces blank. The judge will fill in those spaces. And then take the 5 documents to the courthouse, go to the court clerk's office and ask the court clerk to file the petition, the Oklahoma Sex Offenders Act Registration Act affidavit, the UCCJEA affidavit, the plan for the care and treatment of the wards, and you'll have to pay a filing fee to the court clerk. If you can't afford the filing fee, ask the court clerk to waive it. And then give the order setting hearing to the court clerk, but don't ask the clerk to file it. Instead, ask the clerk to give the order to the judge, and then ask the court clerk to call you when the judge signs the order. And some court clerks and judges handle this process differently, and ask the court clerk in your county how he handles the process. And also, to be appointed a guardian for a minor, you'll need a background check. So while you're waiting for the judge to sign the order, fill out these forms, the OSBI Criminal History Record Investigation Request. See that right there. Also, you fill out the Child Abuse, Neglect, and Information System Report Request. You see that right there. That's also called the CANIS Report Request for short. And deliver the OSBI Background Check Request to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation at the address or fax number listed on the form. And deliver the CANIS report to Oklahoma Department of Human Services, or DHS, at the address, fax number, or email address listed on the form. And OSBI will send the criminal history report directly to you. DHS will send the CANIS report to the courthouse. And after the court clerk calls you and says the judge has signed the order setting hearing, go to the courthouse and pick it up. And then you'll need to deliver the petition and the order to those people listed right there. The minor, if the minor is 14 years old on the date the petition is filed or older. You also need to deliver it to the then living parents of the minor and any other person having custody of the minor, if such parent or person is not one of the petitioners. Or if the minor has no then living parent, then to one of the then living grandparents of the minor who's not one of the petitioner and who's not married to one of the petitioners. And if there's no such then living grandparent, or if there is no such then living grandparent whose address is known to the petitioner, the notice shall be given to an adult relative, if any, of the minor residing in the county in which the petition was filed. And you'll need to deliver the documents by mail to each person's last known address at least 10 days before the hearing. Now, if the child is Indian, then the Indian Child Welfare Act, or ICWA, applies. Under ICWA, a child is considered Indian if the child is a member of the federally recognized Indian tribe, or is eligible for membership in an Indian tribe and is the biological child of a member of an Indian tribe. You see those bullet points on the outline next to me. And a child is considered Indian even if the child doesn't have a CDIB card. I've had clients say, well, the child doesn't have a CDIB card, he's not Indian. Well, he still may be considered Indian even if he doesn't have a CDIB card. So generally, I follow the ICWA rules if the child is Indian descent, just to be on the safe side. Now, if the child is Indian, you need to fill out the ICWA notice. You see that next to me right there. You must send this notice to all the parents of the child and any Indian person who has custody of an Indian child under tribal law or custom, or under state law, or to whom temporary physical care, custody, and control has been transferred by the parent or such child, to all Indian tribes in which the child is or may be eligible for membership. And you can find a tribe's mailing address by typing the tribe into Google. You also need to send an Indian ICWA notice to the Bureau of Indian Affairs area office, and to find the appropriate office for your region, click on the link to the BIA website in the description box below. And along with the ICWA notice, you must also send to each of these entities a copy of the petition and a copy of the order of the hearing. And you have to send these documents by registered mail. Be sure to tell the postal clerk to send them by registered mail, not by certified mail. And now, then you just wait until the date you're hearing. And at your hearing, likely you will be nervous. Most people are nervous in the event of such significance as the guardianship of a child. Now, when you go to the hearing, the judge will ask if anyone has an objection to the appointment of the guardian. And since you've already notified the parents may appear and object to the guardianship. If the parent or anyone else objects to the guardianship, then the judge will have a trial. And at the trial, the judge will hear evidence from both sides and decide, based on the evidence, whether you should be appointed a guardian. And at the trial, each person will have the right to a lawyer. They'll have the right to call witnesses, present evidence, and to cross-examine witnesses. And if the guardianship is contested, I generally advise people to have a lawyer represent them in any contested hearing. And we can represent you in a contested guardianship hearing. Contact us for more information. If the guardianship is not contested, then the judge will ask if the OSBI has sent you the OSBI background check, and he'll also ask if DHS has sent the Canis report to the courthouse. And if OSBI sent you their background check, you should take this report with you and give it to the judge. And a judge can't appoint you as general guardian until he has received both the OSBI background check and the Canis report. And in many guardianship cases, the OSBI and DHS are pretty slow at sending those reports. And so if the judge has not received those reports, he can't appoint you general guardian, but he might decide to appoint you as temporary guardian. And I've created temporary guardianship forms for you to take to the judge. And if the judge has not received the OSBI background request, use the temporary guardianship forms. You see the order appointing temporary guardian, the letters of temporary guardianship, the order approving plan for the care and treatment of the ward. Now, when the judge is ready to appoint you general guardian, you take to court the following forms. This order appointing general guardian, you see that right there. When you fill out this form, you'll also have to file a child support computation along with it. Typically, the judge will order each parent to pay child support, so they'll have to fill out this child support computation. You see that form next to me. Oklahoma law has a formula for computing child support, and to create a child support computation based on Oklahoma law, click on the link in the description box below and fill out that child support form. Type in the data the website requests, and the site will then generate a child support computation showing how much support each parent has to pay. Take that child support computation along with you and ask the judge to sign it. And also take with you the letters of general guardianship. You see that form right there next to me. And you note that on the order and the letters, there are some spaces you can't fill out on your computer, other spaces you can fill out on your computer. Fill in everything you can. If you can't fill it in on your computer, leave that space blank until you go to your court hearing. And at the hearing, give those temporary guardianship forms to the judge. The judge will tell you to sign the oath that is at the bottom of the letters of temporary guardianship. Sign this, and then the judge will sign both papers. And after your hearing, take those papers to the court clerk and ask the court clerk to file them. And also ask the court clerk to give you probably at least 3 certified copies of each document. Keep those certified copies with you, and these certified copies are legal evidence that you have custody of the children, and you may need to show these documents to certain persons, for example, school and medical personnel or police officers, if the question of your custody comes up. If you are only a temporary guardian, the judge will likely set another date to see if the OSBI background check and the Canis report have been delivered. As soon as the judge receives those reports, the judge will now appoint you as general guardian. And now, as guardian, you will have important rights and duties. You can learn about these rights and duties of a guardian in our blog post. What are the rights and duties of the guardian? I placed a link in that post in the description box below. Also, the Oklahoma Bar Association has created a handbook for guardians, and many guardians find that very helpful. I placed a link to that in the description box below, and you might want to check that out as well. And if you have further questions on guardianship, feel free to contact our office. Thank you very much.